Cutie Pies. I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is General Hospital Edition. Today is Thursday, August the 18th, 2022. All right, guys, let's get right on into this. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 7. I don't know what to tell you. So we see Gregory, Chase, Finn, and Violet, and so they're at the pool, and Violet is enjoying one of her last days of summer before school starts and everything. And she's real cute. I love when they have the kids on the episode. So anyway, so she's enjoying her last days to be with her, her grandpa and her uncle and her dad. And so the men are talking, right? And so they say, what are you gonna do, Chase? And he said, well, I guess I'm gonna have to let this see what this takes me with my career. And they don't make fun of his career anymore because they were like, you're actually really talented and you can sing. So it was like, just be open to the possibilities and everything. And so then Gregory Chase has to leave because he has to meet Brooklyn, but Gregory gives him some money. He gives him a check. He said, just think about it as a loan until your career pops off. And he was like, okay, cool. So then Finn and Gregory talk, and Finn, I'm not gonna hold y'all long on this soap today. Finn just says that he wants to reach. Elizabeth caught him and Terry talking. He said, well, you want what's best for her. And he said, unless there's more. And he says, we want to reach out to her parents. And Gregory is advising Finn not to do that. He was like, everyone is not your patient. And you're going to lose Elizabeth doing this. But he says that he loves Elizabeth and he'd rather have her happy, healthy, and whole without him than where she is now. So we'll see, y'all. So then we see Cody and Olivia were talking, and he just tells her, you know, who he is, and if she wants him to get out. And she was like, no, I don't want you to get out or anything like that. And so then Dante comes, and Olivia ends up leaving, but she has this little thing where they talk about the camp and how Dante and Cody knew each other in camp and were so close, and he feels like he knew Olivia because Dante talked about her so much. And so when Olivia leaves, Dante and Cody continue to talk, and he says, listen, I need to know about you because you're around my mom, you're around my little brother. Like, I need to know what's going on with you. And Cody says, I'm not going to cause any trouble, and I'm not going to have you put you in a situation where you have to defend me or everything. And he just says, everything's all good. Oh, so then we go to Ned, Leo, and Brooklyn. And so when we go to them, they are talking about Eddie Mang. Man, that was back in the day and it was so good. Remember Lois and everything? Now that she's leaving, I wish she would come over to General Hospital and pick up Lois. Just give us one season of Lois. But she probably won't. But anyways, they come out and everything, and they're talking about Eddie Main and the pop star, and he says, Brooklyn, are you still trying to manage Chase? And she said, yeah. She was like, I'm not making it about me. It really is about his career because of, everything she's put him through with the PCPD. Like, she feels like she owes him one. And so he's like, all right, well, what you need my help with? And so it's fashion. So then Chase gets there and they're like, a fashion show. That's Leo. He's so cute. And Chase was like, oh no, I didn't sign up for this. But he goes ahead. He's a good sport and he does it, and everything is a no. So then Ned is like, wait, what size you wear, whatever. And he was like, 30, 31. And Ned said, miss those days. So then he goes and he gets him Eddie Main costume, and Chase looks nice in it. I thought the shirt was a little too low for me. I mean, I'm like, sir, you might as well leave your shirt open. But yeah, it works. So we will see. All right, then we go to the hospital, and Scott is getting his nose checked by Elizabeth, and Britt comes in, and he tells Britt, you need to drop that guy because if he's anything like his who did he call his stepsister? If he's anything like that, then he's after money. So you really need to drop him or whatever. But she said, I won't be taking advice from you. And what someone said this on I don't know if it might have been on All Soaps All Day, where they said they hate to see Britt leave because she's a wonderful actress, but they have turned this character into just like this moody, foul, depressed like character that it's it's not enjoyable to watch her anymore on here. And I 100% agree. Like when she's on here now, it's just like, ugh. And I really did like when she was with Jason and they were doing that whole storyline. Oh my gosh, it was so good. But now it is hard. It's difficult to watch. And she's too good of an actress for this. So even though I'm gonna miss her being on General Hospital, I get it. Like I get why it would be tempting to reprise a role that's on nighttime, a nighttime series. So I get it. One of the evening series. So, anyways, best of luck to her on that. But Scott and Elizabeth talk, and he just like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "I'm good." And she tired of people asking her, and she was like, "I'm sorry, I don't mean to snap off of you." And he says, "Oh no, it's fine." He says, "But the one thing I would tell you is just, you don't have to talk about your mom and dad. Like, stay away from your father. Ignore your mother." I think she said, "But don't ignore the rest of us." And she was like, "Okay." So then Scott leaves, and we see Maxie with Britt, and she says, Maxie is just like, I don't know about Cody, but first off, Maxie tells her, Spinelli, I took him off of you. I got him a pedicure. He's no longer in love with you, and he won't be doing anything. And Britt is like awkward, or whatever. And I was like, I don't understand what y'all are doing. Like, at any point has Spinelli showed any interest in Britt? Like, let's be real about this. When someone is interested, like, at no point did he show any real interest in Britt. The only thing he told her to do was get on society setups. And Maxie, he runs society setups. It's so frustrating to see the storyline. Let's move on. So, anyways, they talk, and she says Spinelli is he won't be, asking you out or anything like that. And it's like, okay, cool. And so then they keep talking, and she says she don't know about Cody after finding out who he is and everything. She doesn't know what he wants, what he's after. And Maxie's just like, uh, give him a chance. Is pretty much what Max is saying. Just give him a chance. And then Britt said, "Thank you for talking to me," or whatever. And Maxie was like, "Soon I'm gonna be needing you to talk to me because she don't know what's going on with Austin." I'm like, Maxie, you can't give nobody advice on love because your relationships be tore up. So then we see Britt goes over and visits Cody, and she was like, "I don't know what I'm doing here or whatever, because that's my mom's boyfriend and everything." And he's like, "What are you doing here? To tell me I suck and you don't want to see me anymore, or to tell me I suck but we can have a second chance?" I think that's what he says. I suck and we can have a second chance. I don't know, but anyways, either one, you're here because you want to see me, continue to see me, or just two, you don't want anything else to do with me. But if she didn't want anything else to do with you, she could have just ignored you. Let's move on. So then we see Valentine, Anna, and Victor are eating, and Lucy comes up and she dropping hints at Anna like, "You got my man gone, girl." So Victor and Lucy kind of doing a little light flirt or whatever. Anyway, she ends up leaving, and Anna follows her. So that gives Victor and Valentine time to talk. And when they're talking, he tells Valentine, "Anna not done researching you, sir. You could say that if you want to, but I know better. And I know a woman who's not done, and she's not done." And Valentine is just like, whatever. Like, just leave all of this alone and leave Anna out of it. So then we see Anna and Lucy. And Anna is like, where is Martin?" And Lucy said, "Because of you, he's gone, and I don't know where he is or whatever." And Anna's like, if you tell Valentine, I'm gonna tell about Martin and the IRS, and the IRS and his third ex-wife will be on him. And so now you're gonna help me. You're gonna get close to Victor, because Lucy said, "If you really want to know what's going on, ask Victor, because if you haven't noticed, he and Valentine are thick as thieves lately." And she was like, "Yes, and you're gonna tell me what's going on. You're gonna be the proxy or what?" I said, "Anna, aren't you an investigator? You supposed to work for the WSB. You telling me you gotta use civilians to help you find, like, I don't know. I know this was supposed to be a cute scene, but I didn't like it." I don't know. I was like, "Girl, leave Lucy alone. Like, I'm like, Lucy, if you want to be with Valentine, then be with Valentine. But you clearly don't trust him because he's hiding things from you and everything. So, like, and it's like, if you want to be with Valentine, then find out what you need to know. And if you still don't trust it, then leave the man alone. It's just the stupidest story. Oh, forgive me, y'all. That was ugly. Sorry. Okay, so let's move on. So then we see Lucy and Scott, and she was about to leave or whatever, and she runs into Scott because first Anna goes back to the table and she tells Victor, because he was like, "Oh, you left that lovely Miss Lucy or whatever," and she says, "Lucy doesn't like to be left alone long." I said, "Oh Lord, here we go." But anyways, now we see Lucy's about to leave, and she runs into Scott, and he says, she was like, "Did somebody hit you?" And she was like, "Yeah, Britt's boyfriend or whatever." And she was like, "Well, I don't have time for that. I don't care about that." And he said, "His name is Cody Bell." And she said, "Wait, Bell?" So Lord, we finna see what's gonna happen there. So then we see, but you know what? I'm shout out to Lucy, them playing Lucy more, because I had said I want to see her more. Like, I want to see some of the veteran actors act. So then we see Elizabeth after Scott leaves. She's thinking about everything he said, and she's holding this like blood. You know how it drips blood into the She's holding one of you know how when you're giving blood, they hook it up and it has your blood and everything in it. She's holding one of those, and she starts thinking back, and she thinks about, I say maybe her friend had an affair with her dad, or I don't know what happened. Something happened with her daddy, but she was telling somebody, "Leave, stay away from my dad." And then she come back to herself, and the girl broke it in her hand. I said, Lord have mercy. Fix Elizabeth, Jesus. Because they doing them 25 years. 25 years on this soap. And this how y'all do her. But let's move on. Because I mean, the storyline, it's went on a little too long for me. So then we see Dante and Olivia talk, and she says, he says, "What scheme is Brooklyn up to?" And she was like, "Why are you being like that?" And he was like, she was like, "I'm so glad you're good friends with Cody." He said, "Yeah, but you never know about people." And she was like, "What's going on with you?" And he said, "Because people aren't who they say they are, or whatever." And it's just like, okay, sir, but take your negative Nancy self somewhere else. I said, "Oh, now you want to do police work?" Because he said, he gonna find out what Brooklyn is up to, and this and that. I'm like, why? Like, damn, I don't understand it. Like, what does that have to do with police work? You didn't do any work to help Trina out. So I don't understand it, but whatever. I guess giving them a storyline. Y'all, that was the General Hospital today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all like, girl, you were negative Nancy yourself today. How you gonna talk about somebody else? I know, but this was a 7. Maybe it was a 6. Maybe I just didn't. I was so into the trial with Trina, and now that it's over, I'm like, oh, here, back to these storylines we go. But anyways, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time on General Hospital. What happened on the soaps General Hospital?